What's going on, my financial friends? It's your friend Jack here, and today we're going to be taking a look at an absolutely free, very simple way that you can track your dividends and basically your dividend portfolio. And this is going to be just a one-stop sheet. This isn't going to be all the other charts that you could possibly create with this data. It's just going to be a simple tutorial for how to create a generic sheet that is going to be working for not only U.S. stocks but also Canadian stocks, which I found a little bit troubling to find a simple way to do this. But with that being said, let's get right into this simple, straightforward video. So before I go ahead and show you guys basically how you can do this, and you're going to be able to copy my sheet with my formatting if you want it, I will leave that down in the description. If you want to check that out right now and you know how these functions work, go ahead and go down there. But what you're going to do is pretty simple. So you're going to see here the basically things I have are pretty straightforward, your average things. And then for the dividend section things, we have, the yearly dividend per share, which then calculates this field here for our dividend yield percent. And then we have our estimated annual dividend income, which is just a calculation field as well of, our dividend per share, and then our amount of shares, which is back over here, our amount of shares. So everything's a calculation field. If you don't know how sheets work, it's very simple. So essentially what you're going to do, you're going to fill in a new position right now. Let's just go ahead and say we want Bank of Nova Scotia, or let's do let's do Bank of Nova Scotia again. So Bank of Nova Scotia, how would I do this? First things first, you have to type in the exchange. If it's on the Toronto Stock Exchange, if it's on the New York Stock Exchange, you can just type in the symbol without anything. But for Canada, you're going to type in our exchange, which is TSE, before the ticker symbol. Most people get confused. Sometimes they think it's BNS.TO, which is very common on other places, like on Google. When you search it, it does say .to. But yeah, you got to do TSE and then colon BNS. Now we have our ticker here. So that's our ticker. This field's manual. And after you do that, all you're going to want to do is you can drag this field up here, and then it's going to basically grab the name of the ticker symbol. So if this wasn't Bank of Nova Scotia, and we put a different one here, like let's say Canadian Utilities CU, it's going to change this based on this field. So very simple. And there's a lot of calculation fields that you just have to drag down. You don't have to retype in the calculation. You just drag down like this. But certain fields you do have to fill out, and I want to go over that. Well, we basically just fill this stock out real quick. So BNS, we're going to say we have 2 shares of BNS today. Our average cost, this is usually going to be found on your brokerage app, how much you have paid on average per share. It's pretty easy to find. Usually it's right under where you own the stock, at least on Wealthsimple Trade and other brokerages app. As far as I know, it's a very easy number to find. They usually calculate it for you. It's just the average cost you've paid per share. If you've bought at different times, then it's going to be a calculation. If you only have bought at one time, then it's just going to be the time you bought those shares. We're going to go 78. We're just going to put out the current price, which is right here. I have it calculated for BNS 77.86. So 77.86 is how much we paid for that. Well, that's our average cost for these 2 shares. It's just an example. And then for the current price, another field that you just drag down, it's going to calculate based off of this field here, the ticker symbol, the current price, and it pulls the data from Google Finance. Really cool function on Google Sheets. Next, the total cost basis calculation fields, you can just drag it down once again. Very simple, just how much you've spent in total on these stocks, and then you drag this down the market value. Another calculation, just how much, the current price is times your stocks, which is the same number right now because those 2 numbers are the same. Next, growth return, another calculation, you just drag it down, very simple. And same here, growth percent, calculation field, just drag it down. If you want to know what the calculations are, you can go in them and look, but they're very simple, nothing too crazy. Yearly dividend per share, this is where you have to look this up. So for Bank of Nova Scotia, the forward dividend yield, which is the one I use for my spreadsheet, which can be found on Google Finance by just looking up the ticker symbol, is going to be $3.60 per share. Now, that's something you have to manually put in. Next, you just basically bring this down, 4.62%. That's a calculation, very simple calculation. And then here, drag that down. And then these two fields you also have to manually fill in. You don't have to fill them in, but if you want to make charts later based on when you get payments and all that stuff, you could put in specific dates for each company. I'm not going to do that today. Maybe I will expand this spreadsheet in the future. There's a really good chance I will, and I'll make another video on that. So stay tuned for that. But for now, I just wanted to go over this very simple spreadsheet, and you're going to see here, I already have this dragged down. You can essentially just drag this down as much as you want, the percentage for the portfolio, but you don't have to have all these fields. You could just delete them. And what you want to do now is just drag this down. You would drag it down from above, and then you want to put your field or your sector in. You could make a drop down here. I don't have a drop down yet, but you can find the sector pretty easily by just looking up the stock and the company. And the dividend frequency, pretty easy to find as well. Just look up the ticker symbol in the company with, after them dividend frequency. You're probably going to find the answer pretty quickly. But for Bank of Nova Scotia, it is quarterly. And yeah, that's as simple as it is. There's no dividend functions for Google Finance. So the dividend section is a little bit manual right now. There is some APIs or some ways to do it automatically, but I couldn't find any for Toronto Stock Exchange. Let me know if you guys do know of ones that are free. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys found this video useful. I'm going to post this spreadsheet so you can copy and paste this. You don't have to type anything in the description below. Go check it out. It's going to be absolutely free. Just go click on it, and you can then go to the top left, press File, then press Make a Copy, and it's going to bring you to a copy of the spreadsheet, and you can edit it as your own. Simple as that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you found this helpful whatsoever, smash the like button.